Hi, my name is Chris Jensen, and I'm a professor of ecology and evolution at Pratt Institute. City or urban environment where there's lots of impervious surfaces, where like people have paved over lots of areas, like runoff can get really concentrated, right? Like so, water is not running over soil and seeping in and then ending up whatever is in that water being broken down by the microorganisms in the soil. It's just like everything that we've dumped on that surface gets kind of concentrated and shunted into local bodies of water. One way that you can get eutrophication is like over fertilization, so you're just putting too much fertilizer on and it's running off. It's also kind of subjective. I think it's kind of interesting. So one thing you'll find out with algal blooms is that they often cause what are called dead zones. Like you get all these nutrients, so suddenly these algae can just have this big bloom, and then the big bloom of algae starts producing a lot of oxygen. So actually a lot of oxygen right at the surface, but then anything below is being shaded, and that shading out ends up creating a situation where plants at the bottom can die and they start to decompose, and then decomposing is a consuming of oxygen process. And then the algae are so successful they start to sink to the bottom and die, and they also decompose. So like you get really low oxygen levels, and so that's why big fish and like vertebrates in general, and even some invertebrates will die due to low oxygen. So the question is like, are these algal blooms defending themselves, or are they predators, right? So like it seems to me there's a lot of evidence at least some of them are acting as predators. So what happens? They build up to a large enough level and they're doing some kind of signaling between themselves, because if I'm just a single algal cell, like me releasing toxins is not going to do any good, right? But and maybe I'm curious, this is where I don't know enough about whether these are microorganisms or algae or both, but there definitely are microorganisms that when they reach a critical mass and there are enough of them, they send out signals against single cell to single cell, or sending out signals in the water, and they synchronize the release of toxins. And there's a lot of evidence that suggests that this is like hunting. So they build up to a high enough level of toxin, of like population size, that they can then sense there's enough of us to like ambush. They've been described as ambush predators, to ambush the vertebrates there, and they're essentially feeding on them, right? So like as an algae, you like need nitrogen. So there would be a reason, just like carnivorous plants have a reason to, in low nitrogen environments, to like actually hunt for animals. They would release all these toxins synchronously, and then that poisons the fish die and float to the surface and basically start decomposing and become a food source.